Spirit. Married to Christ. Raised to walk into His life. You know, the origin of our church is that of a campus of a larger church, and that larger ministry was planting new campuses, new churches, all around the triangle, and strategically trying to get a church in each community. And one of those communities that they have been looking at and praying about for a long time was Fuquay-Varina.
The church was so welcoming to just us, the two of us as a married couple. They really focus on how do you have a healthy relationship, how do you have a healthy marriage.
It's just a booming town and bedroom community to the Triangle area. And Exie and I were introduced to this ministry right at the time that they were looking to start this new campus in Fuquay. And so we were brought on board right away just to be a part of what was going on. I was asked to do the primary preaching role, and we had some other staff and volunteers already in place. And then very soon after we got here, Exie came on board to work with kids.
I actually believe that the kids are the gateway to a parent's faith. That kids have way more influence over their parents than we ever give them credit for. And if we can connect these kids to Jesus, they will connect their parents to Jesus.
We had dabbled in having a preschool for half day that met some needs in the community. We're a growing community. There's just not enough preschools. Everybody's on a wait list. And we just saw that preschool thrived. And we saw that families who were bringing their kids to our preschool started attending our church.
I can remember the mornings that we had our early service and it was less than half full and it was so awkward and uncomfortable. And then, you know, just to be a couple of years later where even the first morning service is rapidly like busting at the seams and people are jumping at 9 o'clock in the morning and lifting their hands at 9 o'clock in the morning and shouting and praising.
So we actually purchased this building back in early 2019, I think, and we rented it back to the church that previously been here for almost 2 years. And in God's foreknowledge, COVID happened, and we were meeting at the school, and all of the schools in the whole county shut down and didn't let anybody meet in them. But because we had that arrangement, we were able to move into the facility in June.
So as we come into being in the building for a year, then we get another obstacle kind of thrown in our face. See, what had happened was, back in the 80s, the first church that had our property had experienced a fire, and that had compromised some of the structure of the facility. And they put it back and they repaired it, and people were obviously meeting in here for decades, but it was never really repaired properly.
It sort of felt like, wow, this is an actual piece of history being torn down.
So we shared with our congregation, hey, this is gonna be our last Sunday meeting in this room, and we'd love for 10 or 12 of you to come out and help us move all of our portable gear that we still had in storage over into the gym.
And we thought maybe a dozen people would come, and 75 people came and helped us move everything. So much so that we had everything done in less than an hour.
It was definitely, as weird as it sounds, a God thing because we can fit so many more people in the gym. And we didn't really realize that that was going to be an answer to prayer that we really hadn't even started praying for.
In July of 2022, we officially became Compass Christian Church, and we celebrated that. Our elders took a lot of responsibility on, and we couldn't have done it without that team of guys. It's one thing to have part-time staff and some good volunteers around you, but to have men who really take ownership of the church, who love Jesus, who love the kingdom and the people in the church, and who are really supportive of me, their lead minister, and the staff around us. You know, we just felt taken care of.
Just being able to watch and see someone go from, I don't really know about this whole Christian thing, to being able to hear the gospel and see truly what it is that God did for them and has for them. They get baptized, and then starting to see them serve and lead others, and just be able to see that impact happen over and over and over again. I think that's something we'll continue to see for Compass, and that I'm genuinely excited about, to see what all is in store for that, or how that continues to grow.
It's really just up to us to not quit and to hold on, because that's how we allow God the time and the space to work out what He's got in mind. And truthfully, what He had in mind was better than any solution that me or anybody else would have tried to figure out or forced to happen when we were going through all that turmoil. So, you know, there's a bigger lesson to learn there, and it's one that when you're really going through something, you don't want to hear it, but it's like, listen, you can't just change your circumstances right now, and you're gonna frustrate yourself trying. So just kind of let go of you trying to control the situation. Surrender to God. Trust that He's gonna work out a plan, and hold on and don't quit. And it might be miserable for a while, but He's got some good stuff in store.
I think that when we became our own congregation and Marty became the leader of this congregation, one of the things that God has been putting on Marty's heart for years is this idea of discipleship.
I kind of have this constant fire in my belly that, man, I just know that there are a lot of people that aren't churched who live in this area that need what Compass has to offer. They need to find Jesus, and they could find Him here. And I don't want to be happy and content that we've got a lot of church people from other churches coming to our church, you know, like, because that's not a net gain to the kingdom. All of us are still on this mission of reaching the lost people who live here. And so that's still my heartbeat. I still want to see that be true of the ministry that I'm a part of. And I really think Compass can live up to our name and our mission by never losing sight of, hey, there's people far from God all around us. Let's help them find this amazing God who loves them and follow Jesus themselves.